Welcome to DG Call Sales Solutions Limited. This is day one training, and I'll be your trainer, Kathy Davis. The first thing that we're going to focus on is the orientation. The first thing on the orientation that we're going to focus on is lateness. Now, lateness, we do have a 0% tolerance policy as it relates to lateness. You are not expected to be late. You are not to be late. Dress code. You are expected to dress appropriately for work. If it is that you come to work inappropriately dressed, you will be sent home to change to something that is appropriate. Cell phones. Cell phones, again, something that we have a zero tolerance policy on. You're not allowed to use your cell phones on the call floor. The only place you could use your cell phone is in the lunchroom. You are not able to use your cell phones in the bathrooms. So no cell phones on the call floor, no cell phones in the bathrooms. The only time that you're allowed to use your cell phone is in the lunchroom, and that's when you are on lunch. Next thing we're going to talk about is your lunchtime. Now you are allotted 1 hour for lunch. And how lunch works is that once you go out for lunch, you get everything you require, because once you come back in, you'll not be able to go back out. And that's the policy as it relates to lunchtime. And again, you're allotted 1 hour for lunch. Now, what is expected from you over the next few days is that you're going to be very cooperative as it relates to the information that you get. For most of you, will be new information that you will be seeing here. So what is expected that you're going to read over your notes, that you're going to ask questions where questions need to be asked. If you need any extra clarification, then you should go ahead and ask for that. Just a general overview that DG Call Sales Solutions, that we are a growing company, and there are very high expectations set of you once you step through that door. So you are expected to perform accordingly. You're expected to follow all work policies and procedures as you go forward with us here. So now we're going to get right into our training, and the first thing we're going to focus on is the Student Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, many may wonder, how did this come about? Well, the government was the first ones. Now, the Student Loan Forgiveness Program is known to the government as the Loan Consolidation Program. This program has been around for many, many years. And over the years, there have been many changes as it relates to this loan consolidation program recognized by the government. However, the media, knowing who they are, they decided that they're going to give this loan consolidation program a little pep, so it's more attractive to those who see it. And so the media renamed it the Student Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, the government recognizes that loan consolidation program, others recognize that the student loan forgiveness program. It's the same thing. However, when you do get a call from a client on your phone or a prospect on the phone, they will be calling about the student loan forgiveness program. Now, with that being said, we're now going to focus on what is the Student Loan Forgiveness Program. Now, the Student Loan Forgiveness Program is one that is offered to students who have federally funded student loans, where they may receive the benefits of lower monthly payments, possible lower interest rates, and forgiveness on the loan after over a set period of time. Again, the Student Loan Forgiveness Program is one that is offered to students who have federally funded student loans, where they may receive the benefits of a lower monthly payments, possible lower interest rates, and forgiveness on the loan over a set period of time. And when we talk about set period of time, there are two set period of times, only two. There's a 10-year, and that is for government workers or nonprofit organizations funded by the government, and the other set period is 25 years, and that's just for non-government workers. Again, the Student Loan Forgiveness Program is offered to those who have federally funded student loans, and the benefits one may receive when they get enrolled into the Student Loan Forgiveness Program is one of lower monthly payments, possible lower interest rates, and forgiveness on the loan after a set period of time. And again, we said that that set period of time comes in two time periods. It either comes after 10 years, and that's for those who work for the government or nonprofit organizations funded by the government, and the other is 25 years, and that's for non-government workers or private workers. Again, there's only 2 time periods that someone could be forgiven of their loan: 10 years or 25 years. Now that we know what programs will be offering or what service will be offering to these prospects, we're going to talk about what we do here at Strategic Student Solution for these prospects. Now, first of all, Strategic Student Solutions is a private entity. That's first and foremost. So we don't work with the government, we don't work for the government, we don't work under the government, we're not affiliated with the government. We are a private entity. The next thing is that what we do here at Strategic Student Solutions is to qualify you, the student, for one of the government programs where you may receive one of the benefits of a lower monthly payments, possible lower interest rates, and forgiveness on the loan over a set period of time. And of course, again, reiterating, the set period of time only comes in 2 time periods: after 10 years, which is for government workers or non-profit organizations funded by the government, or 25 years, which is for private. Again, what we do here at Strategic Student Solutions is to qualify you, the student, for one of the government programs where you may receive a benefits of lower monthly payments, possible lower interest rates, and forgiveness on the loan after a set period of time. So the next thing that we want to look at is the Department of Education. Now, the Department of Education is the government, and what they do is that they approve and they insure the federal loans. Also of note is that the Department of Education, they issue approximately $1.8 billion in student loans yearly. And if I'm thinking $1.8 billion, that gotta be a lot of money that the government is gonna send out yearly for student loans. Now, let's just say, for example, John applied to the University of Pennsylvania, and then he gets accepted to the University of Pennsylvania. John is now in a position that he doesn't know how he's gonna fund his way through school because, one, John can't afford it for himself, and he doesn't have the support of a family to support him to go to school. Also, he can't take out a private loan really, because for a private loan you got to show assets and all of that, and John does not really have assets or collateral to put up for the private loan. So his best option is to apply to the Department of Education for a loan. Now, 99% of the time when someone does apply to the Department of Education, they do receive this loan. So the Department of Education, once John applies to the loan for the loan, then the second step is that the Department of Education is going to go ahead and they're going to approve that loan, and that approval takes 1 or 2 weeks. So again, going through the process, John applies to the Department of Education. Second step, the Department of Education approves these loans, and this may take 1 or 2 weeks. Now then, third step is that the Department of Education places John with a private lender, and that private lender's responsibility is to manage and facilitate the loan on behalf of the Department of Education. Now, the reason why the Department of Education would hire these private lenders is because $1.8 billion is a lot of money, and so they get these private lenders they give them the responsibility to manage and facilitate the loan on their behalf. Right? So again, that really, the Department of Education is the government. What they do is that they approve and they insure these federal loans. Now, the next thing that we're going to look at is servicers. And a while ago we spoke about the Department of Education placing students with a network of private lenders. Now, these network of private lenders are called servicers, and the main role of the servicer is to manage and facilitate the loans on behalf of the Department of Education. Now, we're going to give some examples of common servicers. We have Navient, we have Nelnet, we have Mahila, we have AES, ACS, Great Lakes, Aspire, and of course the one government servicer is Fed Loan Servicing. Again, a servicer is a network of private lenders who manages and facilitates loans on behalf of the government, which is Department of Education, and a listing of common servicers are Navient, Nelnet, Mahila, AES, ACS, Great Lakes, Aspire, and of course the one government servicer, which is Fed Loan Servicing. So the next thing we're going to focus on is the back-end process. And the reason why we look at the back-end process is because students often when they call, they just think that, hey, I applied to Department of Education, I got the loans from the Department of Education, so I got the loans, I went to school, and that's all they know. But there is more than just applying for the loan. There's more to it than just applying for the loan and going to school. There's more, and that's how the back-end process comes into play. Now, the first step in the back-end process is that the student applies to the Department of Education. The second step is that the Department of Education approves the loan, and this may take 1 or 2 weeks. The third step is that the Department of Education places the student with the servicer who we just discussed. And of course, we just discussed that the servicer is a network of private lenders who manages and facilitates the loans on behalf of the government. Now, step 4 is that the servicer makes contact with the schools, informing them that any bills relating to that particular student must be sent to them, the servicer, and that is their role of managing and facilitating the loan. Now, that is where also that the servicer establishes the relationship with the school. That's when the servicer makes contact with the school, that's when they establish a relationship with the school. So once a student has went in and selected classes for each semester, then a bill will be generated. Now, once that bill is generated, what that school will do, particularly university will do, is to send that bill to the servicer. Now, the next step is that once the student withdraws or graduates from school, then this is where the relationship that was established by the servicer comes into play, because now the school is now going to contact the servicer about the student withdrawing or graduating from school, and that will be good information for the servicer. So again, the next step is that once the student withdraws or graduates from school, the school will contact the servicer about this happening. Now, once the school has contacted the servicer saying that the student has withdrawn or graduated, the servicer will then contact the student, and they're going to make them aware that they know that either they've withdrawn or graduated. And sometimes, they send them just a little thing to say, hey John, sorry for your withdrawal for school, but in the next 6 months we will be sending you a bill for your student loans. Or, hey John, congratulations on your graduation from school, but in the next 6 months we will be sending you a bill for your student loans. And as you can see, the message at the top is a little bit different based on withdrawal or graduation, but it leads to the same thing, that once you've withdrawn or graduated from school, the service is going to contact you, and in the next 6 months that student is going to be required to make payments on their loans.